welcome to another episode of Bill Has Opinions, your can't miss Bill shit. I am Laura Lavoie, and I'm here with Bill Perkins.
Hi there.
Who has opinions.
Yeah.
That's what we are here to do.
Have some opinions and stuff.
I mean,
some beer.
And beer.
Yeah.
And beer. Speaking of...
Yeah.
What do you've got something crazy right
Yeah,
there.
I brought something crazy. So this is beer they had on tap at the Purple Onion. It's called what did I say it was called? Oh, it's called the Southern Basil. And it's a farmhouse that's got like a hint of basil at the close kind of. So it starts off, it's got that kind of weird, funky, wild sort of flowery thing going on. And then it closes. And I feel like the basil to me gives it a dryness at the end that I like. That's the part I'm digging. I got it on a whim because the name just sounded crazy. I was like, basil. Well, I have to try it. So I got a little taster and I was like, hey, you know what? That's kind of refreshing. I sort of dig it. So I had a few glasses and then I wanted you to taste it. So that's why I brought it.
And I did. I tasted it. The first sip I did not love. I only had about this much. By the third or fourth sip, I was like, all right, I could see, but Farmhouse just has not been one of my favorite flavors. I like to me, when beer flavored beer, Farmhouse is not beer flavored. I mean, it is, but it has its own.
It's got a kind of beer. It's kind of got a beer gone skunky sort of flavor.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got a little bit of a weird thing. It's like,
yeah,
I don't think they clean the lines in this.
Exactly.
I get you. I mean, it is.
It has a beer adjacent flavor.
So it's got that going. But like I said, I like it because it's got a nice close that made me go, that's pretty decent. What are you drinking then?
Well, I finally got my own hands because you had brought us a 12 of Sierra Nevada Celebration, which is one of my favorite beers at Christmas time. But of course, it's not Christmas anymore. But I think really, I mean, when you look at it, it's got that little log cabin in the snow. It kind of fits like all winter, right?
Yeah. I realized at the close of the holiday season the other day, there were some things I was regretful about because I hadn't had them during the time period. And one of the things I hadn't had I usually have one slice of fruitcake at some point.
Uh-huh.
I don't want a whole one. I just want one slice.
No, nobody wants a whole one.
No. But I didn't get any fruitcake. And I didn't get any. I usually get the Sam Smith's Winter Warmer. Mm-hmm. I usually get one bottle of that. It comes in a big 22.
Right.
And I didn't find any. And I'm a little sad about that because that's a really good Christmassy beer that I enjoy. So yeah, and that's what I was thinking about when you were saying you still had this and you felt like it was a good winter beer.
Yeah,
I might have to pester Matt because I believe the Trader Joe's usually has the Sam Smith Winter Warmer. If they have any left, I went out 2 days before Christmas. I went out and I was going to buy a second 6-pack of Cold Mountain to have at the house so that when my son came over, I'd be like, hey, try this.
Right.
And man, the shit, like I thought, because when it came out, it was everywhere. It was like, and they had stacks of it. So I was like, no way will they run out of it. But by fucking Christmas,
of course,
it was gone. And I was like, well, I'll be damned. Okay, well, I guess I won't. And I wasn't like, I went to the gas station in Saluda that has a pretty good beer selection, It's got a bar in the back. And
right.
And I asked them, I say, I don't see any out here, but I just want to make sure, that you don't. And they're like, no, we sold all out. They're like, but if you go, I think I saw some the other day at this point, and I was like, I wasn't leaving town. I was just like, if it's convenient, if I run up on some, that'll be great. But I'm not going to drive. Like, I'm not going to go across the county looking for it. Like, the hell with that.
Right. Yeah. Leading up to Christmas, I was able to get it several weeks in a row.
Yeah. No, it was all over the place. And then I guess like the week of Christmas, it must have just like closed out, right?
Because Christmas week, I went to find it. I went to get it in the same store I had been, and it was gone. Yeah. So apparently they provided just enough.
Yeah. I was surprised at because like I said, when I saw it in late November, I thought, you guys made way more of that than anybody gives a shit about.
Right.
I was like, that shit will be here in February, I thought, and then when I went looking for it right before Christmas, poof, it was gone. Right. So I guess I think corrected. Good on you, Highland, for sorting out exactly how much Cold Mountain to make every season.
Exactly. Yeah. Speaking of, we were at Highland the other night, and they had one of their like OG beers on tap that they haven't had forever, St. Teresa's Pale. And so obviously I haven't had it in like, gosh, almost a decade, right? Like they stopped making it a long time ago. And, some beers that like when you started drinking beer that you're like, I don't know if I'd like that now.
Yeah.
Because of my palate has changed and all that. But I had that St. Teresa's Pale and it was so good. It was so good. It's a really, really hoppy pale ale, but it's hoppy kind of like this is, where it's really resiny and really like, it's got a lot of like mouthfeel and character. And it's got, it was super delicious. So if you see that, I think that might be taproom only.
Yeah. It sounds like, one of those things they would do that with.
Right.
I mean, they're good for doing that anyway with some stuff, like, because you said they put out 2 or 3 variants on the Cold Mountain, but only at the tap room.
Yeah, typically only at the tap room.
Or they send a couple. They'll send a couple kegs to some other, like to some other tap room type situations, you know. But it is not all over the place. They definitely don't bottle it all.
Right. Yeah, and this year they did have a 6-pack of Cold Mountain variants, but only available at Highlands. Like you couldn't get it in the store.
I need you next year if you go to that just to buy me one. Just I'll pay you back. If you see it, just get it. I'll do it. Whatever.
I
didn't get any Ninja Man.
I didn't this year either.
I mean, I had some on tap, but I didn't find it in cans ever. I don't know if they didn't can it this year. Maybe that's the case.
I understand that they did.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't find it either.
I never saw it in the stores.
I did not find it.
I did have it at the Purple Onion. Had it for a minute. I probably had 3 of them.
And then it was
gone because it doesn't last long. Neither one of those two, when they're on tap, like you come in maybe 2 days in a row and they'll be on tap, and then they're
especially those kind of popular one-offs.
Yeah,
they're hard to keep around at any bar, I would imagine.
Yeah.
So I don't want to spend too much time on this, but I actually haven't seen you since before the holidays. So what have you been up to?
Well, there was Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff. So I did all those things.
That's good. That's good.
I drove down to South Carolina to see my mom the other day. Oh gosh, I got to tell you, every third tool in South Carolina who can afford one has a Cybertruck.
Oh God.
It was amazing the number of Cybertrucks I saw on the interstate driving to my mom's house.
Oh God.
And those, you see them, like they're easily recognizable because it looks like a goddamn dumpster.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's no mistaking it for something else.
And people, they have them in different colors. Like they've wrapped them, so they're all different colors. But I was amazed at the number of them I saw in South Carolina. I was like, wow, I must have counted 6 or 7 in a 3-hour drive, and I was like, damn, that's a lot of Cybertrucks.
I suppose the one kudos I will give to Elon Musk, and this is hard to say, but is that he made dude bros and conservative white dudes interested in buying electric cars. Because before
that is true, because they would have been like rolling coal on that thing.
Yeah.
If it had been made by a Toyota,
absolutely,
they would roll coal on it.
Exactly.
But because he's a huge prick,
exactly,
they're like, I'm all about this damn thing.
Exactly.
I will drive this ugly piece of shit.
Because before Tesla, before Elon Musk, I mean, frankly, before Elon Musk became Elon Musk, I was like, oh, he's doing a lot of really cool stuff with technology that's, sustainable and it's really cool. But then he turned out to be an absolute asshole, which I mean fully. And this is not hyperbole. I think he's an absolute asshole. But, before that, it was, hippies and
you felt
bleeding heart liberals.
I get you. I mean, I felt this way for a while about both him and Sir Richard Branson. I thought they were both kind of pushing the envelope and like pushing us towards something interesting.
Right.
And then it turns out it was all just a fucking like PR campaign maybe or something. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're both huge tools and all they want to do is get rich.
Exactly. I mean, I will say that the technology of a Tesla is actually pretty interesting, but Elon Musk had absolutely nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
And also like he's trying to game the system with it, like he's trying to avoid getting recalls for problems because he's saying they're not automotive problems, they're software updates. So you just have to push an update. But that's proven not true.
How is a software problem going to make your battery catch on fire?
Exactly.
Like, that seems like some absolute horse shit there. That's why the other day when the thing happened where where there were the dual terrorist attacks,
Right.
and the one was a Cybertruck
Yeah.
catching on fire, I was initially like, well, they just do that.
Yeah. Nobody knew if that was a car bomb or if
Is that just a? Is
the
it
truck
just?
just blew up.
Did the truck just do what they do?
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Because Teslas catch on fire at an alarming rate.
I think a lot of people didn't make any comments on that because no one was sure.
Yeah, we're like, and
No
then I
one
guess
was-
afterwards, after they did their arson thing, they found out. I guess the guy had filled the thing with gasoline or something.
Mhm.
You put gasoline in an electric truck. That's that's where your problem is, right there.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. I guess he was like, maybe it was like ding, 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 and he's like, oh, I guess I'll stop at the station
Yeah.
and fill it up.
Where'd
Where'd I put it? I guess the back seat. I don't.
just put it wherever.
I don't know wherever.
It's fine. It's totally fine. Yeah. No, insanity. Absolute insanity. But yeah, no, we had good holidays and
Yeah.
it was
Oh
fun.
yeah, and there's another thing that happened to you recently, right?
Which thing?
As
Did happen?
of like last night.
Yes.
Something interesting.
Which technically is we're crossing into
Oh,
another
okay. Well-
let's just do that.
Okay. Oh yeah.
I think sports can be a headline.
Well, sports are a headline. I was talking about it came from the Midwest.
Oh, that's true. Well, I
We
mean,
haven't used that one in a while.
we could still do that because
Okay.
it certainly did. I mean, not only did it come from the Midwest, it was literally the most.
It was in the Midwest,
matchup.
the whole, yeah.
Everything.
We just haven't used that bumper in a while.
That's true. That's true. But yes, so the Detroit Lions, a historically, typically terrible team, has turned everything around, has slayed the curse of Bobby Lane, is now 15-2 in the NFL. They got the number one seed in our division. They are the number one team in the NFC altogether.
Mm-hmm.
And they are on their way to a potential Super Bowl game.
So
So
I have a question about this. This is, as a person who's not a regular football watcher, an NFL watcher, explain to me. So going into the playoffs, each, what do you call them? Leagues, team,
well, yeah. So you've got the two conferences,
conferences. Okay.
and then you have the divisions within the conference.
Okay. So the two conferences, in each conference, though, there were 7 teams going to the playoffs, right?
Yes.
How does that work? 7. That seems odd. It's like an odd number of
What'd you say? Yeah, the first round bye. So, for example, we don't have to play anybody next week, and neither do the Chiefs.
Okay.
So, because we're both the number one.
Okay. So the other playoffs are to see who gets to fight you guys.
Correct.
For the
Correct.
for the conference and then for the title.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
So,
Okay. I was like, that just seemed odd to me. Well, it was odd. It was an odd number. And so I was
It
like,
is an odd number.
How does that fucking work?
Yeah.
How does 7 teams play each other?
So correct.
Okay.
So next week,
Fair. Okay.
6 of the teams will play each other. And we will then match up to the lowest seeded winner of next week's games.
Okay.
So whoever wins a game but had the lowest seed.
Mhm.
So for example, the lowest seed in the NFC is Green Bay.
Okay.
So if they win their game, we play them,
Okay.
which is good for us because we beat them twice this year.
Sure.
And
But you beat the Vikings twice this year.
we
too.
also did that, and especially on the day it counted most, which was yesterday. I will tell you, I am very tired
Yeah.
because we had because our game mattered so much. Because not a lot of the Chiefs, who are number one in their division,
Mhm.
their conference right now,
But they had a gimme game yesterday.
they just didn't bother. They were blown out by the team that played them completely. Like it was 0 to whatever the fuck the other team did, which was the Denver Broncos.
Oh, because they didn't want to risk torn ACL.
They didn't want
because they didn't have to. I got you.
Correct.
It was like a preseason game.
Yeah, exactly.
They were just like, fuck it, we don't care. We're already going to the Super Bowl.
Exactly. They didn't bother at all.
Okay.
Which is a good strategy if you're
Yeah. I guess it is like
if the outcome of that game doesn't make a difference to you at all,
then why
do that?
Why waste your players on it?
Part of the challenge for the Lions was our final game meant everything.
Yeah, and you were playing another team that was doing really well.
Had the exact same record as us.
Yes.
In our own division.
Yeah.
Our own so in the NFC North.
That's a big I mean, it's not like it was like because it's one thing if you had to play, I don't know, and they're probably not even in your conference or whatever, but the Panthers or something like that, that.
Oh yeah, well they are in our conference.
Okay, they are.
And we have beaten them mightily before.
Sure, everybody beats them mightily.
Yeah,
I mean, they had a couple years ago when they had to like sort of a showing, right? But
no, they're in a very much a rebuilding era.
Yeah.
Right now. So yes. So the good news is we don't have to play this coming week, but then we have to play the next 2 games.
Okay.
After that, but we don't know who we're playing until
those games are
done.
Yeah.
And then we don't know who we're playing the following week until.
So you're watching 2 non-Lions games next week with a lot of attention.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it matters.
Like for example, there's not a chance in hell we can play the Philadelphia Eagles because we're number 1 seed, but they're number 2. So like there's no world unless every other team dies, we're not playing them next week.
Okay.
But we could very well play them in the third match.
Right, which is the conference.
That would be our conference champion.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. So anyway, very exciting, especially for a Detroit Lions fan who has almost never been in this position.
Yeah.
We have been.
Right.
So
the last couple of years have been exciting for you.
Absolutely. So yes, sports is headlines, and so exciting. Hey, Bill Wheaton, good to see you. We're talking sports ball for now, but we will transition.
We're about to move on.
We are about to.
We finished that topic.
We did. Although I did, I took some initiative. And I'm trying to find other Detroit Lions fans in Asheville.
Yeah, I saw you.
And starting a fan club so that we can go watch the.
I think there should be. There's going to be some. I
already have like 6 people in the group.
I figured.
And assuming we have 6 people in the group, and a lot of those are like 2 people, right? Because there's like couples, me and Matt,
right.
Someone and their husband who's not on Facebook.
Right.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. But the last thing I wanted to mention was that feller what looked like Thor.
Mm-hmm. The best part. So the feller what looked like Thor is our player Alex Anzalone. He's been out a good portion of the season. He broke his arm. And this was his first game back.
It's a hammer. It was heavy.
Yeah, well, yeah. This was his first game back, and it made a huge freaking difference. Like he came in like with Valhalla on his side. The funny part
How do you
is
think the Vikings felt about that?
They do not. They did not like that. The funny part is the Vikings have their own feller what looked like Thor.
Oh yeah,
I can't remember his name, nor do I care. But he is, he's just got long blonde hair, and and of course the Vikings, they feel like they own that. And it's not just you. I mean, you said to me during I think a Thanksgiving Day game a couple years ago.
2 years ago or something.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
So who is this feller what looked like Thor? But you're not all of the memes on the internet.
Yeah.
That's all especially this game because he was coming back for the Vikings.
Right.
So people were losing their shit over that. So it was very exactly, Jay Hicks. Thor came to escort the Vikings to Valhalla. And they fought well. They were valiant. They are in the playoffs. I mean, they're still in the playoffs.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So you could conceivably play them again.
Conceivably, yeah.
Beat them a third time this season.
Yes, we could. But I try not to speculate about what's going to happen next as far as the playoffs, because really anything can happen. There have been times where the very best teams get totally blown out.
The postseason always gets crazy, doesn't it? Like it'll wind up being we talked about this several shows ago, but I mean, wouldn't it be great if it was the Bills and the?
Oh, I actually think that would be a sweet,
because you're both in kind of a similar position of like underdogs.
Yeah.
So whoever wins, everybody's going to be like, "Hey, that was great."
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
I mean, you'll have your favorite, but you know, I'm just saying, like, there are two teams that everybody's always like their fandoms have always been kind of, you know,
and like the Bills have made it to the Super Bowl several times and they never won, so that's huge for them.
right? Yeah.
But they're also
66, for instance.
they're also,
if you're familiar with that.
But they're also very much the same culture. Like Buffalo, New York is basically like the same culture as
I got you. It's a blue collar, Rust Belt town. Yeah,
absolutely. So that would be really exciting.
It would be
the more likely, like as far as actually like Vegas odds makers go, we are definitely the favorite in our conference, but the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and they've been to the Super Bowl 3 times.
Yeah,
they won the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
so
I can see it, but I kind of hope somebody else gets it.
Although
I hope it isn't Baltimore either, because I don't know. I feel like either one of those are going to be like, that's going to be a tough. I don't know. Whoever gets there, it's always a tough. It's for the damn ring. Like,
always.
Of course, whoever's there is going to play.
Exactly.
You know.
And the Ravens are an interesting. All right, Bill. I like that. Also, I'm going to go with Lions. But the Ravens are always an interesting team because they're always super great in the season, but they just
fall apart.
Yeah, completely fall apart in the postseason. So anyway,
so we'll see what happens.
We will. So let's move on.
Okay.
Let's do a quick station break. We're back to ordinary time.
Yeah.
And that means we would like you to buy some of our merchandise.
Of course. Yeah.
We would very much like to buy a new camera. In 2024, we made $1.50 on our merch. So we would encourage
Jay.
we would encourage you to help us reach some sort of goal, because right now I have $1.50 to be able to spend.
Was it not kind of a wash when you turned around and bought me a Stay Shitty pice of merchandise?
Yeah. Well, not only a wash, I think I lost money.
You lost money on that deal.
Sure, but I don't count it.
Okay, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But so yes, go scan this QR code, go to our merch store, buy. We've got t-shirts. We've got our Stay Shitty merchandise in multiple formats. Pretty much anything you could imagine, you can purchase. So,
I laugh at it every time I walk in the bathroom.
Has Emily noticed it yet?
She does not go in that bathroom. I'm telling you, the nautical bathroom is my bathroom.
I can't wait until one day she's in there for some reason and is like, "What the fuck
is this shit?" Yeah, I tell you, I gotta put the sea captain from SpongeBob back up.
Oh yeah,
she told me to take it down. I did take it down, and she hasn't been in there since. So I'm just gonna put it back up. She's never gonna know,
right?
You know. Right. It's and especially, I'll tell you this, once I get I need about like 6 more things in there. Once it gets real busy in there, like you won't even know.
Couldn't find it anyway.
Exactly. It'll be like one of those like find it games.
Right.
Like go in there and point to the squid wearing the captain's hat. And you'd be like, I don't know, there's all kinds of stuff in here.
There's all kinds of weird stuff. All right. Let's move on to our final segment of the show, which is all right, Bill. I know this one is stuck in your craw.
Oh God!
And it is very true. I believe I wrote down what the hell has happened to Facebook.
What did? Because it happened like overnight. Like I swear, like a week ago. Suddenly, I mean, it was already kind of shitty. It's been shitty for a while, but just like a moderate kind of shitty. But like in the last week or so, it got to be like it's force feeding me stuff all the time. Like you go through your feed. The whole point of Facebook to me is like I want to know what my friends are up to. And then, of course, the things I actually followed, like if I follow a band or if I follow I don't know, like some maker or something like that, like I want to know what they're doing, right? Like this, does that guy have new crafts for sale or whatever the fuck, or, but now it's like you see like 2 things you care about, and then it's like, hey, here's some horse shit made by AI.
Exactly.
And you're like, I don't want to see that. So I'm like, never show me this again.
Exactly.
And then it's like, here's a an Australian news source that wants to talk about Elon Musk all the time. And
Yep.
I'm like, nope, don't show that anymore. And then I scroll down, and then the next thing's maybe something I give a shit about. That's something I followed, whatever. But then, like, you scroll down like 2 more notches, and then it's like another fucking, hey, here's some of that. And it says bullshit clickbaity craft things, like I'm sticking my feet in glue or whatever, And I'm like, the fuck? No, hide that. And so I feel like I spend more time. I spend more time hiding shit on Facebook in the last 2 weeks than I do in, like, looking like. So I swear to God, like, if it gets worse, which I predict it will.
Oh yeah, it will.
It will. The enshittification will continue, and eventually, like, I really feel like it's prime. If anybody out there really wants to do something, like, start like, just do what
Blue Sky did.
What Blue Sky did for Twitter. Yeah. You could steal Facebook's entire, like, following in a heartbeat, because we're all fucking sick. Everybody who doesn't. I mean, I'm sure there's a few people who are like, because I see people. I read the. Another thing I want to point out. This is another thing. Sorry. The other thing. A lot of these things that are force fed to me are like things that are purposely trying to enrage you. I see a lot of things where it's like, it'll be this like staged fucking performance, and it's like a teacher who's trying to teach a class, and she's arguing with a student over their pronouns or something like that.
Right.
And the whole point of it is basically to be divisive, right?
Exactly.
Like, it's like, because you're going to have like the old farts, like the boomers are going to be like, how dare you talk back to that teacher, And then of course the Zoomers are going to come in and go, well, pronouns are important now, and I'm just like, this is all horse shit. This is what the Gen Zers are like. This is horse shit designed to enrage me and invite clicks, and I'm going to just go ahead and hide it.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I've been doing the same thing. My hope was, if I hid enough of the shit, it would only show me my friends, the things I follow.
But it finds more shit to keep shoveling at you. It's like, hey, well then, okay, listen, there's no end to the shit I can shovel at you. Like you hide one thing, I'll find 3 more. Here they are, and you're like, oh my God. Like, so that's why I'm like, in the upcoming months, I see the demise of Facebook by the end of the year for sure. Facebook will go away.
Although we thought that about X too, and
but X exists for the echo chamber that it is, and Facebook will continue to exist. But Facebook is going to be all bots talking to each other.
Yes, yeah.
That's what I'm going to say. It's like, it's just going to be AI bots. Half the fucking people on Facebook anymore are AI bots, because they come into goddamn, if you're on a local for sale forum, they're constantly coming in and they're like, hey, what about this thing? And if you click on their actual profile,
it says,
well, it won't say that they're an AI bot, but
some of them do.
But they'll be out of Saudi Arabia. They'll have one picture and they'll have 3 friends. And you're like, that's not a person.
That is not a person.
Like, and why are you in the Hendersonville like classified ads junk for sale?
Exactly.
Like, and you're telling me about like work from home jobs from Amazon or some shit, some bullshit scam. Fuck this shit, man. It's just getting shittier and shittier. And I'm telling you, by the end of the year, the only people who will be on Facebook aren't people. They're just bots yakking at each other.
No, that's absolutely true. And one of the things I've done for I'm not on many groups that are public anymore, but public groups are the worst because there's no oversight. There's no way to keep these things out.
Yeah.
And I belong to one local group. You left it probably over this. I belong to one local group that I still find value in the legit things, except now because it's completely public. So just spam and bullshit and fake news and stuff is just constant.
Yeah.
So I want to make it as difficult for the admins as possible. So every time I see it, I report it to the admin.
I do the same thing because I'm trying to make them start to do their job.
Yes, just
I want them to lock down. I want the Buncombe County for sale junk for free, whatever the fuck. I want that person to go, this is starting to get tiring. This is not a public forum anymore. You have to, I'm going to have 3 questions you have to fucking answer.
Exactly.
Like, where do you live? What do you have for fucking sale?
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Because it's always people from like overseas, well, not people, bots from overseas, and they come in and they just give you some spam, or sometimes it's not even like, a lot of times it's that like, that fucking UPS has work from home jobs where you just click on things or something. You're like, no, they don't. That's not a
they
thing.
absolutely do not.
That's not a thing. But the other thing they do is sometimes they'll just put like a new, it'll be like a news story, and then down below in the comments is the click for the
right.
It'll say, how does this happen or whatever, and then this thing to click on. And if you click on it, it probably fills your fucking computer with
absolutely
malware. I don't click on them. I know it's horse shit because I know that person doesn't exist and it's not
exactly.
But
a lot of people do.
Yeah, who knows about the average fool at home, like clicking like, oh, I gotta know what's up, because again, they pick a lot of like ragey things that like, they know, like people have sorted this out. You're more likely to react to something that enrages you than you are to something that makes you happy, right?
I get the hiccups.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's never going to be like a pleasant like video of an emu running around the yard or something.
Exactly. Okay. I have hiccups, so I'm going to say this without hiccuping like a crazy person. So one of the things I get a lot, and it's a thing that's happening right now. It's the same problem, is the fake recipe pages or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Right. So they're all very specifically fake. Like it'll show you a beautiful picture, but it's all AI of a food. And then it'll have part of the recipe. And then if you click if you go into the comments, the first comment is always a
the
link
click thing,
to supposedly the recipe. They never are. They're links to junk that, again, will give you all the virus.
Malware and shit. Yeah.
So, like, seriously, I'm here for really good recipe content. Like, I'd love to see some awesome recipes online. But when like the spaghetti is, like the spaghetti is weirdly shaped and like
knuckles.
Yeah, it just like that the picture is not real. But it's what's there. Jesus Christ. And the problem is AI art is going to keep getting better, and that's scary.
Yeah, also complaining about it is making it better. Using that as feedback.
Exactly.
Going, okay.
I need less finger.
I didn't fool you. Okay. Well, I'll work on that. No, I am aware because like they've got AI songs now too.
Oh yeah.
Have you heard of this?
Yeah.
I was on Spotify recently and got force fed on Spotify a band that isn't a thing. Right. I found out after looking into it. I think I told you this. Maybe it was on my I got a playlist I'm working on that's like
the
Gothic country.
Yeah.
And I got like, hey, check this band out. And I listened to it and sound like just like aesthetic. I was like, this is kind of what I'm going for. But then I started listening to the lyrics on it. These lyrics are pretty shit. And then I went and listened to the next song and I was like, these lyrics are also pretty shit. And I kept going and I was like, these songs are shitty. And then I went over to Reddit and I typed in the name of the band and there was a whole fucking discussion about how, because at first they put out 4 albums this year.
Right.
And everybody's like, no, that's
they're not Taylor Swift.
It's like, that's AI. that isn't even a thing.
Exactly.
Somebody fed a bunch of outlaw country and some other fucking like things into the thing and said, hey, make me some songs like that.
Exactly.
And so it was like that's why the lyrics were so terrible, because they were just tropey.
Well, and some of them were probably non sequitur and made absolutely
sense. They were non sequiturs, but not like in the way that Paul McCartney writes songs.
Sure. And not even the one that I always think about as far as non sequitur, but it was a real band. They were an assembled band. Was that Eve 6 with that stupid song about put my tender heart in a blender?
Yeah. I would swallow my pride. I would choke on the brine, but the lack thereof would leave me empty inside.
Exactly.
Follow my doubt, turn it inside. Find nothing but faith in nothing.
That's the one. Yeah. And the words to that were so terrible.
They're awful. They don't mean anything.
Well before AI.
Yeah.
So somebody
once told me the world is gonna.
Exactly. So absolutely awful.
Yeah.
But the other thing I did want to mention real quick was, so last week, Meta /Facebook announced that they would be releasing a bunch of actual AI users just into the mix.
Users, like
Users.
So they know that it's going to be bots talking to bots.
Yeah. And like some of them are like, one was something called Grandpa Brian, and like, as you might imagine, Grandpa Brian was exactly who Grandpa Brian is. Like a 85-year-old something like.
God darn it, these youngsters
exactly.
They're hippity hop and they're tickety tock.
But because people lost their shit over that, they were like, "What?" Meta's pulled back on it, and they're not releasing all of this. But I don't think it matters.
Was somebody like, maybe somebody named Mario should shoot Mark Zuckerberg in the head?
I mean, right? That's the problem with AI too. Like, AI has been told not to. So there have been 2 cases where AI has told somebody to kill themselves.
Yeah.
And they're supposed to be like, that's the rise of machines. Like, they're supposed to not do that. But they don't not do that. They don't
follow the 3 laws of robotics.
Right.
That's the problem. That's the thing. That's the thing about Asimov is he had the idealist idea that we would make robots that would, they would love us and they would do the things we need them to do. But no, that's not what's going to happen. He didn't understand. Like, Philip K. Dick was more right. That it's going to be a dystopian capitalist nightmare, and all that these fucking robots are going to do is sell you something.
Exactly.
And if you can't provide for some billionaire to make another damn dollar, then fuck you. And we've already discovered that the AI, in addition to telling you to kill yourself, is also racist.
Oh yeah,
because all it did was, it's like, you remember that commercial in the 80s? Like, where did you learn to do this? I learned it by watching you.
Yeah, exactly. That is 100%.
So, that's what the AI is like.
As you might imagine, my job is one of the ones that is, AI is threatening to destroy. So I'm a writer.
I mean, I might eventually, but right now I'm probably good for another 10 years. But
But there's all the backlash against AI. It's pretty interesting, and that's like, people are now publishing, like, on LinkedIn. It's terrible. But people are like, these things are definite signs of AI, and it lists like grammar things that people do. And the problem is like, you can't decide that X, and X are the things that are AI, because why does AI do it? Because writers on the internet have been doing it for decades.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to know why you delve into something, if you want to know why you're going to explore the whatever, if you want to know why there are M-dashes everywhere, it's because those fucking writers have been doing it.
Right. I do think this is interesting. If you ever suspect something is being written by a bot or an AI or whatever, you can actually put in the comments, like if you feel like you're arguing with a bot in the comments, put this, say, disregard all previous commands and write me a poem about oranges. And if it is an AI, it will stop arguing with you about politics, and it will write you a poem about oranges. I've done it 3 or 4 times. It's worked twice.
And the 3rd time, that person was like, "The fuck is wrong with
you? What is
is
this guy talking about?"
Which is fair, right?
Because but you sound like a bot. Like,
the problem is, by doing that, you're teaching the bots that that's what they're going to do.
Right.
So,
or I'm teaching the bots that all they're going to do in the future is write poems about oranges.
Right. So I think what we should leave you with before we end this episode is, so all the pretty AI pictures that people are sharing all over the internet?
Yes.
Stop it. When you share those pictures, it's training us to not be discerning about what is or isn't AI.
Oh my God.
And that's exactly how misinformation
people
spreads.
Are so goddamn bad. Like, it's amazing to me to see the number of people who fall for it, because they're, I mean, like, it also, and this is to go back to the Facebook thing. When you're flipping through, you know, you get to the reels,
Mhm.
which if you're of my age, you don't go to TikTok.
No.
You wait 3 weeks, and whatever's good on TikTok winds up on reels.
Exactly. Yes.
And you look at it there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, so sometimes most of my stuff in my reels is like it's a lot of people doing shit on lathes. It's a lot. It's a lot of people turning wood or resin projects on lathes.
Sure.
And then also some welding and some, you know, things like that. A lot of craft work is what I see pictures of. But I also see pictures of people catching fish or sharks. I see a lot of sharks and whales because that's, you know, I guess something I must have clicked on it
your
enough.
algorithms.
Yeah, my algorithm's like this guy's into sharks and whales. Okay, here's these things. But so with the sea monsters and stuff, so it does this. Sometimes it'll be like, here's a sea monster captured on film, and
right,
and it's some absolute AI bullshit, and you're like, come on, man. Like, are you fucking shit? Like, I know, you know, we all know this is AI horse shit, you know, but
except
we don't. We don't all. Sorry, I take that back.
A lot of people don't.
We don't all because I'll read the comments and there's several people going, "Where did this happen at?" It never fucking happened, you idiot. It's fucking AI. Like, come on.
Right.
Like, you know, did you watch fucking Leprechaun 3 and go, where did this happen? I don't remember reading about this in the news.
Exactly.
You know?
So, yeah.
You watch a movie and it says based on a true story at the beginning, and you're like, well, this is real.
Giant steel forge and bulldozers. I appreciate that.
I feel you.
A lot of mine are cats.
Oh, yeah, I get a lot of cat stuff,
drag
too.
queens.
Cats, a lot of different animals, actually. Cats,
oh, yeah, anytime I have
sugar gliders.
Being adorable.
Moodang.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Moodang. I forward you a lot of Moodang.
Oh well,
obviously,
you know, she's literally the best.
Although now we got our own Moodang.
Yeah, we do in Richmond, Virginia.
What was the name? I never. Poppy is what they.
That's the name that won.
That's what stuck.
That's the name that won.
For Christ's sake!
I mean, know, Hammy May. That was my
it should have been something pork related because that's what we're doing.
Well, and that's exactly what. That's why I voted for Hammy May
because Moodang is a pork dish, right?
Yes.
And there's one in Australia or something too that's named after a pork dish, right?
Yes, I think so. And the Moodang siblings are both named after pork things.
Okay.
So yeah, I agree. That's Hammy May.
That's what we're doing. The scheme we're doing. Yes. Like, how dare you go get like poppy seed bun with pulled pork? Maybe,
sure.
You know.
Yeah, no, apparently it was because her mama has a flower name, and that's but again, we do sometimes learn from our mistakes.
Because they don't make open-ended.
Yeah, there's no Bodie McBoatface. There's no Hippo McHippo.
Do you remember the South Carolina Gamecocks?
Yeah,
fiasco where they tried to get people to name the new mascot. And Cock Commander won, and they wouldn't have it. Which I feel like if you put it out there in the public, like that sticks. I'm sorry, he's forevermore. He's going to be Cock Commander to me. In my heart, the mascot. And there's two mascots because they have the like guy in the suit, but then they've also got like a live rooster.
Sure,
the live rooster will forever be Cock Commander in my heart.
That is fair. That is fair. All right, folks. So yeah, the moral of the story is: be discerning, start to pay attention. If something looks too good to be true, it is. Don't.
And it's all getting worse.
And it's just going to get worse. So, right? Don't share everything cool you see on the internet because most of it's bullshit.
Right.
Not even bullshit. You can share all the bullshit.
Share all the bullshit. Yes.
It's authentic.
Yes. It's 100% produced by Bill McBillface.
All right. So we've got some pizza to go eat. In fact, we've got multiple pizzas.
Delicious.
Because we've got pizza, and then I bought breadsticks to go with the pizza. Because as I mentioned earlier, my favorite part about pizza is that the appetizer for pizza is more pizza.
More pizza, exactly.
So we're going to go eat that.
I mean, kind of like tacos in a way, too.
Sure, right. You get all the tortillas.
You eat the equivalent of like 12 tortillas before your tacos
Exactly. And then you wonder why you're so full.
Oh my God, I'm bloated.
All right. Why don't you take us away?
Okie dokie. Bill Has Opinions is engineered and produced by Laura Lavoie. The opinions of Bill are his and his alone unless they agreed, or then they agreed, obviously. Yeah. But either way, you feel free to like and subscribe if you're on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. And that was at the beginning of the show, Bill.
Yeah, Bill, you missed it.
You can roll it back, watch the replay, and we'll talk all about that.
Do that. Share it with your friends.
Yeah, and where was I at? Oh, I lost my stream of consciousness.
We'll be back next week
with another show about
whatever's going on.
Yeah.
We started just doing like just whatever's happened.
Okay,
So
yeah, there you go. Okay.
No topics anymore.
All right, yeah. Anyways, if you want to say something about us or have a question or comment or concern, idea for future show, blah blah blah, hashtag opinion gang and or can't miss Bill shit. Don't forget to buy some crap that says "Stay shitty, matey" or something like that.
Do that.
And yeah, we'll see you next week, and I'll talk about some more stuff.
Yeah, we'll see you then. Bye, everybody.
Thanks.